Hello, hi everyone. Hello. Today is weaving we are doing. Hey, hey. We always have something or the other. So today is weaving we are doing.
Last time was that
Yeah, that's another. The other day was
singing.
same. All right. So today we are going to have a relatively short show or short broadcast because we're just trying to check out all the lessons we've learned along the way for the past 4 weeks. It's been a tremendous journey trying to describe all the heroes that we've come to discover. For me, a very good learning curve. And I want to thank you for all the viewers that have been coming back over and over again to watch our smiley faces. Smile, smile. Do you have to show the smiley face? To watch your smiley faces, to watch the giggles, to watch all the restlessness, and to watch all the yawning. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. So today I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Joan, and I have
Big J
and
Little B.
they are my co-hosts, and we are talking about all the lessons we've learned from all our heroes. And it's been a very great journey. We have a few slides, and we just get on with it, and then we'll talk about our heroes. So, girls, just refresh me about some of the things we've been doing and what you think you have learned from it. So, our lesson learned from our heroes. So, any comments before I go on?
So this past month,
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could say,
Yeah.
we're looking at all different sorts of heroes, and they're all black,
Mm-hmm.
or some of them are African American, which is black.
It's black. There's nothing like African American. It's an American. It's black. Okay, so yeah.
And they've all achieved amazing things,
Mm-hmm.
and they've all done it by trying hard and not giving up.
Mm-hmm. And so I think a very big lesson for you is trying hard, not giving up. You will achieve amazing things.
Yeah.
And so, do we have all this talk about not giving up in the house? What are the two words that I don't like you guys mentioning?
I don't and I can't. I don't know and I can't remember.
I don't and I can't. Oh God, those words makes me like cringe. I'll just say, please, can you just say I can't and I don't? Because those two words, you've already put a limitation on yourself. And before I say I don't and I can't again, let me start the presentation. So, once again, just a quick reminder of all some of the heroes we've gone through. And last week, I think we were mentioning all these names, so we'll just slide past them. If you see all these beautiful faces hanging, it came from us. We're just hanging them around.
Like George Crabbe and Chimamanda.
Oh, come on. Like Serena Williams.
And Miriam Makeba.
I love Chimamanda's face.
And
Oh.
Nelson Mandela, Rosa
Oh.
Parks, and Kathy Johnson.
And
And
Chikiobi.
Maya Angelou.
And
And
Chikiobi.
President Ellen something.
Johnson, President Johnson, and the Nigerian youths. They are my hero in 2020. Yeah, so good. And the lessons we've learned are
Don't give up.
uh-huh,
Live a life of example.
uh-huh,
Practice makes perfect.
uh-huh,
You will fail along the way.
uh-huh,
But if you work hard enough, you can achieve anything.
uh-huh.
Multiple achievements and bad experiences can be changed into good.
Thank you, Little J. So she just summarized everything we've learned from these heroes. And we have 7 or 8 bullet points. We're just going to show one by one and we'll just dig into it. So when we say don't give up, what do we mean? And how did these people not give up? Can you tell me?
Well, not giving up, not don't give up. Well, this is a way that don't is used in a good way.
Yeah.
So you don't mind that.
Yeah, don't is used a good way. So don't is a positive way, positive word here. Don't give up because
Yeah.
you're trying to say don't give up. But I don't know it is a negative one. I can't do it is a no. I don't know the answer is a negative one.
I know this
I
is
can't
a bit not relative,
No.
but on
Related.
like another thing, Nintendo Switch, Pokemon Quest, when all your characters are tired out and they're all into Pokemon. binoculars, it says collect PN tickets and give up. And then it said to give up.
So you
Oh,
have to give up.
you have to give up there.
No,
But in
No,
real
you-
life, yeah. But when you're playing the game, you give
you
up.
have a choice.
You have a choice to give up or not give up,
You have a choice to give up or give up and collect some.
or give up and collect
No.
something.
And give up and do another and do it again.
Do it again. Okay, so very good. So now, don't give up means you are giving up and doing it again. You're giving up on
No.
what you've lost, and then you're doing it again. From the world of Pokemon, right? Yeah. So now, in the real world, don't give up. So how did Nelson Mandela and Benjamin and Tubman, how did they not give up?
Benjamin, he bought his own freedom by not giving up when he was inventing, and what he invented received patent, I think, and he earned enough money to buy his freedom.
And Nelson Mandela fought for the freedom of South Africa, even if he had to go into prison to do it. And
Harriet Tubman,
mhm,
she was the one who fought to go to Pennsylvania.
She was-
and
she
she
was.
was called the Moses.
she was called
And she
the
also
Moses.
brought all her family
Yeah.
and friends.
Okay, good. So she was called the Moses because she was helping to save the black slaves from slavery, and she was getting them into a better place, right?
And you got to choose everything. You chose where you work, you chose where you played, and you chose where everything.
So she stood up and she didn't give up. So let's go to the next slide. So stand up for what you believe.
Ruby Bridges.
So how did she
even though
stand
she
up?
was different,
Mhm.
she went into a school that was different with all the white people, and she was the only black in her school.
Wow. Do you know I watched a video where Ruby was speaking, and people brought cups of a black baby to school, and about 200 people were shouting in front of the school, "We will kill you! We will kill you! We will kill you!" Can you imagine? A little girl is going to school. I can't even get into her head and how she was able to cope with all those things. I can't seem to get into her head. But she was able to cope in spite of all that. She stood up for what she believed that she was going to learn. And she learned in spite of it. So Rosa, what did Rosa do?
She went into a bus, okay?
Mhm.
She went into a bus, and there was when all the seats were full at the front,
Mhm.
those are the white people's
Mhm.
seats. Another white person came in, and she asked Rosa Parks if she would stand up, and Rosa Parks just stayed there
Mhm.
because she wanted her rights.
She
to
wanted
stay there.
a right to sit down. And that's very interesting. Nelson Mandela?
Like we learned last time, he stood up for what he believed,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't give up.
And Laura Kofi stood up for the black people in America when she traveled from Ghana to the US, and she was assassinated in the middle of all, trying to fight for other people's freedom, and she stood up. So thank you for all these heroes. They stood up for what they believe. So kids, we've learned, don't give up. Stand up.
Nelson Mandela's in too. So Nelson Mandela stand up for what you believe and don't give up.
Yeah. So kids, what is it that you are kind of compromising because you get to school and because of peer pressure, everybody is doing things and you really don't want to offend anybody? Are you standing up for what you believe?
No.
You need to stand up for what you believe because you had heroes that have stood up for what they believed. So girls, no matter where you go to, kids at home, stand up for what you believe. If fairness is what you believe and people they are being unfair to people, stand up for it. Do not join the crowd. Do not join what other people do. Stand up for what is right and what you believe. There are some things that you believe are wrong. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
So, but always stand up for what you believe that is right. All these people stood up for what they believe that is right. Okay, what other lesson?
Live a life of example.
Okay, so what did these two people do? They were presidents. They stood up and they said, "We are women who will stand up." One was in Liberia, one was in Canada. They stood up.
Canada.
Yeah. They stood up for women and say, "We will be an example for all the other women." and we will fight for women, we will fight for those that are less privileged, and we will fight for the rights of people. So kids, you are there out there and you're going to school. What kind of example are you showing?
A life that shows others the way to behave and very polite and kind, respectful.
So that's the kind of life you
Yes.
should lead. So live a life of example like these two elder stateswomen that stood up for being leaders amongst others.
Practice makes perfect.
Okay, so what did these people do that they practiced and they were perfect in it after a while?
So
John Henry Thompson
Okay.
was a computer scientist, and he also developed a coding language called Lingo.
Mm-hmm.
and Dylan Blurford Jr. and Ray Jemison, they practiced until they went into space and they did everything.
Okay,
that they
but for John, he made mistakes in his code, right? And he still didn't give up. Yeah. And Meredith was one that did a lot of patents, over 30 patents, and I believe along the line when he was developing them, he would have made mistakes, right?
Yeah.
He didn't give up.
Everyone
Everyone would have made mistakes, but they kept practicing until they were good at what they were doing. So kids, Mima, Big J, when I say go and practice your maths, what happened?
and practice.
You need to practice until you're perfect. When I say practice your handwriting, yeah, you need to practice and don't give up. See, all these people never give up, so they are your examples for you to see that you will fail along the way.
Serena Williams.
She was criticized a lot.
Yeah.
When she was playing a match against, I'm not sure who it was. I can't remember their name.
You speak louder. Mhm.
And they made her lose the match.
The umpire did something and she was so upset and she banged the racket. But I think the main point about Serena Williams is I don't think she became a champion overnight. She must have failed along the way, right? Yeah, I don't think.
And the second one was
Yeah.
George Crumb, and he made Chris too thick.
So he made the crepes too thick when he started making
He made
it.
the chips too thick.
He made the chips too thick when he started making it until he learned how to do it very flat from potato chips to crepes. And today we all enjoy crepes because of George. And so tell us about the last hero
So
there.
they didn't have any machines to make crisps then. They just had a fry pan and some oil and some potatoes.
Tell us about the last hero. How did she feel along the way? She was a warrior.
She was a warrior and she was fighting in a battle. And she lost the battle.
Did she lose the battle or she lost the eye?
She lost her eye.
She lost her eye in the battle. She failed in her eyesight. But you know what? That made her become a fierce warrior.
That made her become more fierce.
Yes. Yeah, right. Fierce.
Like a lion.
Fearless like a lion.
Wow.
And she fought. And so we learned from her that you can fail along the way. This afternoon, when we were preparing for this program, I had a little bit of discussion with Big J about the difference between mistakes and failure. And so I think we had to come to an understanding that mistakes are, misjudgments that we make along the way. But failure, you're failing to do something. Mistake can come under the category of failing, but failure is when you catastrophically fail in something. But that doesn't mean that you will not fail, make a mistake along the way, or trip and then stand up and become better. And these people have shown us that we will trip along the way in life and we will stand up and we'll become better. So,
if you work hard enough, you can achieve anything.
So tell me, girls, what is the motto of this house? Work hard enough.
Work hard enough.
Work hard. So work hard in everything you do. Do your
Best.
In
Very
everything you do your
very, very best.
That's my gospel. So, and these people showed us that you can do your best in everything. Tell us how they did their best.
Toni Morrison.
Mm.
She was a writer and editor and there's something else I can't remember.
And she got an award, Nobel Prize.
Yes.
Wow.
I think it's a piece.
A piece
I
of
want to
yeah.
wait
She got a Nobel Prize. So that shows that you can stand up. And Bessie Grissom was a nurse that helped
Injured soldiers.
and then
Florence.
oh yes, can I finish talking?
That was in the,
And because she helped wounded soldiers, what happened was she invented other things to help them to aid their life, recovering and things like that. So she worked hard at what she was doing and she invented things in the place of work. So kids, you can work hard in school and invent things in school.
Yeah, but Bessie was even better. Bessie was better than Florence because Florence has nurses.
Okay, but she was a nurse and an inventor. Yeah. So Maya Angelou, what did she do? What did she remind us about hard work? So she worked hard and she stood up for the right of others. What about Tamara?
She was.
She has an aviation company,
Aerostar.
an Aerostar company, and she's a young lady. She's like in her early 30s or late 20s, and she's worked. Yeah, she's very young, and she's worked hard enough to earn what she is, and she's helping other young ladies. I said early 30s or late 20s. I'm not sure. We need to check at birth. But the truth is, she's a young lady that have worked hard to achieve something great. And so
she was in her mid-30s.
if she's in her mid-30s, even if she's in the mid-30s or she's in the 40s, she has an heritage. I'm talking about when she started. I don't mean today. You understand? So she worked hard and she achieved her aim. So multiple achievements. Can you tell me how these people achieve multiple achievements?
Wait, help me with it.
Chike Obi.
He was a mathematician and a politician, so he did more than one thing. And I remember,
Mathematician, scientist,
person,
everything. So you can have multiple achievements and multiple careers.
And also in our Tuesday or Thursday sessions, I forgot which one, we read about a man we referenced in a few times. So Dr. Sir Arthur Wynne. He did a lot of things.
So he was a sportman, he was a politician, and he was also a doctor. Yeah. So kids, you can.
It was a night.
So kids, you can achieve multiple things in life. Don't stick. Okay, I want to be a mechanic, and I'll just have a garage all my life. No, don't kill your dream. Bring big.
I want to be a scientist, a builder, and something else.
Okay, so before Jen pauses, let's go to the next one. Multiple achievements and your bad experience can change into good. Bad experience. Alice was. She also did multiple things, and even her invention. She was not known widely, but because of her, many other Africans or Black people have achieved a landmark because of her. So that's her own multiple achievement. So she opened the door for many others.
Okay.
Your bad experience can be changed into good.
Henrietta Lacks.
How? She died of cancer.
Yes.
And they used her cells for the treatment and the cure of cancer, which
and the care of polio.
And the care of polio. And she didn't even know. So even though our life ended with a bad experience, our name still lives on. So thank you, Henrietta. Because of you, we have healing. And Ruby.
They honored her because they called it the HeLa vaccine. Henrietta.
So what about Ruby?
Ruby,
bad experience in school.
Racism.
Yeah.
It changed into good civil rights activist.
So she turned into good, and her life is an example to all of us that you will face bad experience in school, kids. Ruby has faced it. A lot of us have faced it. You are not the first person. Don't give up. Just keep going, and your life will tell the story. No matter how young you are, you can make a difference. Can you tell me?
These
three people.
David Blackwell.
Can we just put them together? These three people started very young. They were smart from very young, from 10 years old, 14 years old. Some of them got their PhD. One of them got their PhD at 19.
One of them, and that same person got to university
at 14. 13. Yeah, got to university at 13. You can imagine. So no matter how young you are, you can make a difference. Your life can make a difference. Kids, we want you to aim high. We want you to put all your best. Don't limit yourself. Oh, they can tell you it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay. Oh, and when you get 13, it's okay to get 13. No matter how young you are, do not let anybody talk you down. Create a bar for yourself. If you fail the bar, that doesn't mean you should become despondent. You should just beat yourself. Don't beat yourself down, but you should target to be better the next time. Yeah. But in everything, do your best. It's not okay for somebody to tell you are too young to achieve. It's not okay. You are not too young to achieve. You are not too young to be an inventor. So start thinking. You are not too young to be a professor now. Start thinking. And you are yeah. So you understand?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Nothing wrong with being different. So I have this challenge with few kids around me that feel intimidated because they are smart, and everybody feels that they are nerds and they shouldn't be, or they shouldn't aim high because they are nerds. You understand? But I just want to tell you, kids, there's nothing wrong with being a nerd. There's nothing wrong with being different. Everybody cannot be Miss Social. And everybody cannot be Mr. Prince or Mrs. Prince or the queen of the class. All these people we mentioned were different. They were smart. They stood out. They went to places that no other person, like people like Katherine Johnson, they went to places, they would have placed barriers for them to get into NASA. But they just started as clerks, and they told themselves, we are going to make a difference here, because even though we are different, we can stand out. Yeah. So kids, there is nothing wrong with being different. There is nothing wrong with being a nerd. There is nothing wrong with being the only black person in your school. There is nothing wrong being with you having a different hairstyle. There's nothing wrong with being short. There's nothing wrong with being fat. There's nothing wrong with being smelly. Just make sure you don't smell. There's nothing wrong with
being too slim.
And there's nothing wrong, like you. Just please, there's nothing wrong with you. Look into your heart. I know a lot of children are going through pressure. A lot of children are becoming suicidal because of this pressure other people put onto them.
Children are committing suicide?
Yes, because of peer pressure and because of the way people insult them and talked about them and malign them in school.
What?
Especially if you don't want, yes, but it's psychological. So if you don't want to fit in, they will throw all things at you. Some even go and they fight them, and that's why some children end up in gang, because they don't want to.
So people threw stones and pebbles and things.
Exactly. So there's nothing wrong with being different. Please, kids.
You
can stand up.
I remember watching something where there was a cupcake whose head was bigger than all the other cupcakes.
Cupcake.
Yes. And they kept on throwing things at him and saying things at him. So he
went to the bread doctor.
Yes. No, not Dr. Barber. Well, and there were other cupcakes, and they threw a thing at him, so he had to put a popcorn ball on his head.
Seriously. Thank you. All right. Use your gifts, kids. Use your gifts. Do not let anybody stop you.
Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, she used her gift.
She used her literary gifts. Even when a lot of publishers rejected her, she stood on her ground. And yesterday, she was announced to be the first African woman in 25 years to get a certain award. Yeah.
Wow.
So Kids, use your gifts. It might not pay you today, but keep going on. All these people we wrote were either athletes, or they were into literary arts, or they were into music. But please use your gift. All of you can't be scientists.
Jackie,
Everybody can be inventors. Everybody can be mathematicians. But there is a gift you have that can stand out. And even though there's one of the people we discussed last week was even disabled, but yet she did not allow a disability to stop her from becoming an Olympic champion.
Oh yeah, and the second one I want to talk about is Alexandre Dumas.
Okay, what did Alexander Dumas do?
Alexandre Dumas, he made the Three Musketeers.
So he's a playwright. He was a playwright. So that's one thing I want to learn. I want to learn how to write plays. All right, so I think that is us today. And kids, we are back to the question, who is your heroes? We've been talking about our heroes. We've talked about all the lessons we learned from them. We are happy to share with you that this is our heroes and they've made a difference in her lives, and we have been so impacted by them. And I believe kids out there, don't look at your limitation. Even if you are the first person to go to school in your family, even if you are the first person to be in a different situation, remember, even if your daddy and your mom is not your heroes, there are people out you can look up to. There are heroes out there you can look up to. There are people out there. Man, I'm your hero. Come on, look at that. Am I not your hero? Just make me your hero. So on this note, I'm your hero anytime, any day, anyhow. So I want to say thank you for joining us on Reading with John. And we hope that you join us next time. Next time, we'll be talking about a lot of ancient things. That comes from where we come from. That comes from where we come from.
Africa.
That comes from where we come from.
Africa.
We're going to teach you about us. We're going to teach you about us. All right, I better go. I'll see you next week on the Couch Talk. Guys, did you enjoy this topic? Did you learn something?
Yes,
from it?
I enjoyed it, and I learned that if you work very, very, very hard, then you will achieve whatever you want to
Anything.
achieve.
Anything that
So
you
from
want
today on, do
achieve.
you promise me that you'll not be saying I can't and I don't again? And you'll not be doing,
Maybe.
you'll not be
You're not blowing your face at me.
you will not be doing that again.
Maybe.
Maybe. Did you hear? Oh, that's
Maybe.
true confession in front of the internet. Don't give up. And never say never, I can't do it. And you, when you are practicing, when I say do it 5 times, I've done it. No, 5 times. I've done it. You'll not say I done it again. Okay, it's easier said than done. I'm getting that vibes. I hope that kids at home you learn, as I'm also learning, and Jgirls are also learning. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.